Hey everybody, today we're going to talk about one of the 5 goals of the Jedi Circle. One of the aspects I wanted to talk about is one of the 5 goals of the Jedi Circle: create. The inspiration for this goal comes from an activity that I see almost every Jedi taking a part in one way or another, whether they consider themselves creative or not. Now, it's important to realize that being creative doesn't mean being good. I am no good at being creative. I create very simplistic things such as logo designs, and again, very simplistic, not great, not outstanding, but it is part of my creative process. There is value in creating something. There's always something that you gain from that, you learn from it. One of the things I joke about is the creator's curse. And that is, while you're in the process of creating something, whatever it may be, whether it's a writing, whether it's drawing or painting or whatever it may be, during that process, you end up learning new things, you end up learning new skills. Say it's a drawing, you're learning to draw, and you learn to shade a little bit better as you go on. Well, your finished product is not going to be the same as the things you learn. So you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, I can do better, because you learn things as you were working on it. And that never really stops, ever. You're always kind of going through this creative process, and anytime you start a new project, you are gonna learn something new. And that way, by the end, you're gonna have a new perspective, and that's gonna benefit your next project, in which you'll learn something new there. So you don't have to be great at something. You can do drawing, you can do painting, you can do writing. It doesn't have to be this Nobel Prize type endeavor. It doesn't have to be something that's going to be praised and sold and bought and sought after. It doesn't have to be anything like that. For writing, you don't have to try to be the New York bestseller. Just write something that you want to write. Talk about characters that you want to talk about. Do little short stories when you feel inspired to do that. Something as easy as painting Warhammer 40K figurines. Well, I shouldn't say easy. That's actually, it's harder than it looks. But something like that still counts as being creative. Is developing a color scheme and getting in there with the paints and painting them up. That's something that's gonna last for a little bit. That's something that definitely counts as well. Cross stitch, quilting, making necklaces, knitting, creating music. Again, it doesn't have to be an album or a part of a band, but just something like creating music for you, maybe just putting something out there on Bandcamp or whatever. It just develops and enhances and reinforces a lot of Jedi concepts. When you look to create something, you're gonna have patience, you're gonna have moments of learning, you're gonna have times that are gonna test your emotional well-being. You might get a little frustrated with things. Self-discipline, accountability, all of these things are gonna kind of come into play as you look to create something. So really look at your life, see where you're probably already doing something creative. You're probably already working on something that might just, again, be just for you. That's fine, but consider adding that in your life if you don't have that. Again, drawing, pottery, painting, or creating a costume that they're gonna wear for a convention. YouTube videos if you want. Anything that you feel adds to that creative process. Another thing that I know some people will resonate with is Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop role-playing games. If you're a dungeon master or game master in that, you are creating stories and you're creating setups and you're creating an environment. This is all part of the creative process. So there's many ways that you can fulfill this kind of creative art that we want to encourage to be part of your goal. And again, that can be creative problem solving. Maybe you're looking at a charity or raising money for a fundraiser that you think is gonna help people, and you come up with a creative way to do that, or a creative way to reach people. Marketing can be a very good way to exercise those creative muscles. Trying to figure out a way to be creative might just work those creative muscles, and you might surprise yourself with some of the ideas that you come up with. Think outside the box. Allow yourself to really think, what is creative? What kind of things help me get creative? And then just have fun with that. Let that be part of your time. A lot of people use the creative process to also work into their meditative process. Consider it part of your Jedi homework. I think you'll find that it does play into how you live your life, and that it does support a lot of the concepts that we hold in the Jedi Path. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. More videos coming. Life is still throwing things in the air, so we're still working on a loose schedule. You know where the buttons are, and you can like, dislike, subscribe, unsubscribe, block, whatever. Hit the little notification button if you want. May the Force be with you. There are many ways to be creative. Interior design, being a tailor, cooking. Cooking is a creative art. Don't forget that.